What up, YouTube? We back at it again. Good morning. It's like 5:20 in the morning on a Friday. Happy Friday. Almost to the weekend. We're looking at the warning tell Allison about opening for Muse and the secret weapon of their sibling magic. This is long. I've been told to do this by a lot of you guys. Y'all told me to hit record every time I'm watching the warning, so I'm doing just that. However, I'm gonna break this up. I'm not gonna make you sit with me for an hour. I'm gonna do three 20-minute segments. I think I'm gonna try not to pause too much, but if you guys have seen the interview, you're probably looking more for reactions and commentary. So I'm gonna try to make this not super long. So we're gonna do like 3 20 and change segments, and they might not all be this morning because I gotta make breakfast and I gotta prepare for work. I have an actual job, by the way, during the day. So do me a favor, go support. This lives on this lives on Allison Hagendorf's page. Please go support her, the warning as well. If you like, please like, comment down below, subscribe. Let's just dive right on in. Oh, I've got, you know what? I don't need headphones. Hold on a second. Let me turn that off. We're gonna go speakers and 1 second here. Okay, so this must be Allison. Let's volume check. Sorry, guys.
Hello, my fellow music lovers. I'm Allison Hagendorf, and welcome to the show. This is where we celebrate the universal love of music and the rock and roll spirit that lives in each of us. My guests today are the three incredibly talented sisters who comprise the band The Warning. This is a band you need to know. They have been playing since they were old enough to even hold instruments, and have already played alongside bands like
I've got a couple of the albums on her wall. The Imagine Dragons, love the Trench album from 21 Pilots. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Sorry, let's go.
Foo Fighters and Guns N' Roses. They are currently on their North American tour this month and will be opening for Muse in Europe this summer. We talk all about their relentless drive and work ethic, how they got their first break, what it's like to open for their idols, Muse, and the secret weapon of their sibling magic. And stay tuned after the interview for my sound advice, new music you need to know. It all starts now.
She looks fit. She got guns.
ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. No more scouring the internet for questionable reviews. With ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor you haven't met yet. Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to feed and schedule app for hours. Doc.com.
Sorry, guys.
Ladies, I'm so excited you're here. I have been following you for years now, and to have you in LA and to sit down, I'm so pumped. There's just so much I want to congratulate you on.
Thank you.
And also, I was admiring your Misfits tank. This is phenomenal.
I got it from a fan.
I was just gonna say that exact same thing. That's funny.
Shout out to that fan. Thank you for the tank.
Best fan gift.
Yeah.
I know.
Your greets.
I love that.
And we're honored to be here. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
This is like, woo.
So cool.
We're so happy
I'm
to
honored to
make
have
it.
you guys here. Now, tell me why you're in LA, what you guys have been working on.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, are you gonna?
Okay.
Just like, so we're here in LA. Basically, we're gonna write a lot. We're experimenting. We're in that like era in our careers where we just want to try everything, new things, and we're so used to writing between each other. That's
Just
it.
us.
That's
So
it.
like it's our first like dip into co-writing, and it's been
Wow.
fun.
Yeah.
LA is the place to do it, and we haven't had the time to write. We've been touring for
Nonstop.
2022
Yes, you
was
are.
nonstop. It was over 100 shows. So now this is like the little window of time we have before touring starts this year. So we're like, okay, let's go to LA and write.
Let's find out what we can do.
going on.
Let's go.
So wait, I need to hear more about these co-writing sessions. So how has it been going? Because that's a whole new dynamic in chemistry. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, first of all, the fact that you guys are sisters writing together, it's like a very intimate, comfortable dynamic.
Yeah.
So now you're in the room with strangers. It's a little bit like a first date, but it's the three of you together.
Yeah, we talked about it. This is like speed dating.
Speed dating.
We've been here for has it been 9 days?
I think so. I don't even know.
It's been like one team per day. Like we meet new people every day.
Yeah.
So it's like going into the room and saying like, "Hi, I'm Paulina, and these are my darkest fears. Let's write about."
She refers to her full name, and all of us don't. Is that rude? Are we being rude? Pac can't wait to just talk. I'm surprised they didn't, when they talked about her Misfits shirt, they didn't mention her Metallica shirt, because they've covered Metallica a bunch. But no, that's funny.
About that. It's just really weird. Doing that every day with new people. Sometimes you vibe, sometimes you don't, but all the sessions have been great.
They have been
We've met
great.
some
Yeah.
great people, and it's just been really fun. Very new.
And we've got to learn a lot from them, which is, I think, the most important thing. What you can like grasp and then get to do your own thing with it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely been an experience.
An adventure.
Yes, an adventure.
It's definitely a character building exercise, like you said, like going and meeting someone and then becoming as vulnerable as possible, so you actually get great art to create.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's like a back and forth because you're explaining your situation. They're like, "Oh, I've been through," and then they just like. It's like a trauma dumping session.
Yeah,
but
it's
in
therapy.
the healthiest way possible. It's just really nice.
It's a healthy therapy session. Yeah. Oh my God. Now, I love that it's the three sisters. I am one of three sisters. So I as soon as I heard about you guys, I felt very connected. And I'm very close with my sisters. I think it's beautiful that you guys have been making music together. And I want to learn a little bit about like the earliest days with you guys, because obviously your parents played a huge role introducing music to you in general and then supporting you in your dreams.
Yeah, so we grew up in a very musical household. Our parents are not musicians. They're just music lovers. So we, how do you say, inculcaron? They like shared
They
that
brought us up like
with a love of music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brought us up. That's
There
the
we
word,
go.
I think. And
How would you say that? Like evoke or instill? Is that kind of...
music was always just playing around the house, and we really loved it. And just like parents like put their kids in like soccer classes or swimming lessons. Our parents were like piano lessons. Just let's go, like go have fun.
They call it soccer down there?
And we started out like that. We like classically trained classical music, piano.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then our parents bought the video game, the Rock Band.
Yeah. There was no going back.
And
That was it.
that's where we
I think I called it Guitar Hero in my last one. Rock Band. That's right. Because
found our thing.
I think that's a little bit after my time with video games. Actually, well after my time with video games. But I'm like double their age, so ish, roundabouts. Maybe not quite, but kind of, sort of. Yeah.
We were really like I forget how young we were.
We were
I felt
really
really
young.
grown up at the time.
Yeah.
I was 6. I mean, I was 3.
I was 3.
You couldn't even hold up a freaking...
Do you remember this?
I remember watching them play because I was so young. I couldn't even carry like the plastic guitar to play the rock band. So I just watched them play all the time. That's what I did when I was 3. I watched them play the rock band. Yeah, I did.
I love that. So Rock Band, you guys were great at it. But you can still be great at Rock Band and not decide that you're going to make this your life, you know? So what was it that was that point where we're like, okay, this is what we're doing?
You know, I think it's what we saw in the Rock Band more than like actually like playing it. Like it looked so fun to be on the stage. Everyone was just like cheering. It was like, I want to be part of that. So even though we had never done it before, I was like, Dad, I want to play the guitar. And he's like, are you sure? Your fingers are going to hurt. I was like, yeah.
Aww.
But one week I was just like, please, no. It hurts so much.
Right.
But no, then it was just because I started classic guitar. Like I started like an acoustic guitar with not nylon strings. The other ones, I forgot how they're called.
Steel strings?
I guess.
I'm trying to help you out. I don't know
it hurt
anything
so
about
much. I
guitars.
was
You get like
just
the calluses.
Yes, I had like my fingers were horribly, but then there was no going back. Literally, we loved what we did, but we didn't play
wonderful.
together.
No,
No, we did it.
I
At
played
all.
the drums separately. Danny
Yeah.
played her guitar. Ale was Still not playing anything. She was playing the piano.
I play the piano.
But like years later, Ale like had an interest in the bass, so she started playing the bass by herself. Like we didn't play together. That wasn't a thing ever. Sometimes we played like the piano together.
Pal's very emoting with her hands. She speaks a lot, but she moves her arms around a lot. It's like there's a drum kit in front of her. She's very like, make sure that you guys know what I'm saying with my hands.
Yeah.
But like guitar and drums, that wasn't a thing. But then I started playing the bass, and we're like,
Wait a
like,
second.
we can play together. And we started learning cover songs, just playing songs that we liked, and playing like at our school and stuff like that. And then we started recording these covers and uploading them to YouTube. We recorded Enter Sandman,
Right.
which went viral.
That's the one.
And it was like when we started getting these very big opportunities that you wouldn't expect to get at that age, just starting out. It was like, oh my God, like their dreams are coming true. Let's do this for real. And I think that was the turning point.
And
Just, like,
when we eventually started making our own music, that even became more
That was
legit.
it.
Yeah, I was just like,
That was
all
it.
right, let's go.
So when the Enter Sandman cover came about, how old were you guys then? Was it like 9 to like 14?
Yeah, I was 14.
I was
9, 12, and 14. Is that right?
12.
and I was 9.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you guys really created your own luck, right? Because it was a preparation and opportunity to meet. You had been practicing. You had been honing your crafts. I mean, how intense was your practicing at this point? Like, you guys were pretty dedicated musicians.
Very, very much so.
I don't remember how many hours.
Yeah,
but
me
it was all the
neither.
time.
We
more than a
practiced
couple hours
all the time.
every day. And it was like, you come back from school, you would practice, then you would.
Did they maintain like a normal childhood with friends? Like they mentioned like soccer and other things that kids were doing. Did they get to experience like, I don't know, running around the neighborhood and having fun with friends and pool parties and birthday parties and normal kid stuff, or was it just all music all the time? Like, or you get, were they, because it sounds like they almost sort of like, and I'm not saying that like in a bad way, but like kind of had their own bubble. It was just music, right? But like I kind of feel like kids need, and obviously they, I'm assuming they did, because they're all level-headed and they kind of seem to get it. But it sounds like it was. But if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But I'm wondering if like what their sort of social life looked like if so dedicated to music. Like, when do you have time for that shit?
Do your homework, and then you would practice the other instrument. Like
Yeah.
it was a thing.
Yeah.
It was,
and we had our
a whole
lessons.
schedule thing.
And our parents like really pushed us to it, because you're a kid.
Maybe I'll find
At
out.
one point you're gonna be like, no, I want to play with my toys. It was like practice, and that like we learned how to be disciplined like, in our craft since we were really young. So I feel like we've just been really lucky throughout our whole careers, and we've gotten these amazing opportunities.
I don't know if it's luck. It sounds like they worked for it and they earned it.
But it's that discipline that we've had throughout our whole lives that like makes us take advantage of these opportunities to the fullest.
Yes.
And we're really grateful for that.
And
honestly.
also from discipline, we are very stubborn. When we didn't get a part, it was just like, I'm staying here until I play it right.
Yeah, I
We're
bet.
just like, I want to be able to play this.
So when did you actually become The Warning? Like the official band?
official band. Okay, so we recently just turned 10 years as a band.
That is
Yes.
unbelievable.
But it's like half of my life.
Yeah, more than half of my life. Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
what? But like our
It's
first
unbelievable.
It
It's
is.
wonderful, guys. It's wonderful.
and our first gig was at a Christmas party at our school.
Yes.
But like the first time we used the name, The Warning, it was like a battle of the bands.
Can I hear rock versions of Christmas songs out of them? Is that somewhere I can find? That'd be amazing. They need a Christmas album if they don't have one. I'd throw that on for sure.
type of event.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what
But
it was.
every single band had a name but us, so we're just like, well,
Oh,
we have to name
that's
our
gonna be
How
our
the
did
band.
you come up with that?
We would daydream about having an album.
Yes.
And it was called The Warning. And it was like the just for now name.
Yes.
We're like, we're gonna change it later. No, like we didn't love it. It was not like,
Yeah.
oh my god, we're called
The
The Warning.
Warning.
Yes. It was like, we don't have another option right now.
Right.
So
That's gonna be it. But then we went viral and everyone was like, oh, The Warning. So it was like,
Well,
We'll stick with the warning. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know
we
what?
learned to love it.
Yeah, we
It's
learned
awesome.
to love
It's a
it.
good name.
We've grown with
It's
it.
a great name.
Yeah.
When you did go viral, did you feel the pressure to really like quadruple down and like now just take advantage of this momentum? Like, was there a pressure?
I feel like
know
I
what?
don't
I don't
remember like
remember.
that.
No,
I feel like
'cause
as a kid, I was just like, well, this is my life now.
Yeah,
but like,
we were so young that we really didn't understand the concept of like
yeah.
what happened and like going
viral.
viral. We
Right.
didn't really understand it. We were just like suddenly we had more interviews and stuff like that. But apart from that, we really didn't understand completely like what was
I
going
feel like
on.
if that would happen right now, I would feel pressure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was
But
12.
back then,
I was in my own little world.
Yeah.
Just,
That's
I was
one-
like, oh,
yeah.
I get to play the.
She just admitted to being an alien. She said, I was in my own little world. I see what you did there. I don't know what planet it is, but I see what you did. Mark that down. That's proof.
Drums now. Awesome.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity to keep doing what you were
Exactly.
already
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
In hindsight, it's like, damn. Okay. that was big. Yeah. But
I love that you said the pivotal point was when you started doing your own music.
I love that English is their second language still. I forget about that half the time.
Because you realized you didn't want to be known as just a cover band, and creating your own music was really the key. So talk to me about early days of creating music. Where did you even begin? And was there sort of like artists you looked to sort of be inspired by or to emulate?
Okay, so first of all, the weird thing about this is that, well, we're Mexican. We grew up speaking Spanish. That's our main language.
we live in Mexico.
But the first ever creations that we did was English songs. That's it. And I feel like that was a big thing in our starting releasing our own original music because we had the attention of the Enter Sandman one. Now, like, since we were singing in English, people are like, oh, well, I can actually listen to this. But our first ever creations were very all over the place.
we didn't have specific like influences that we were like, I want to sound like that. It was just like, let's write a song and let's see what comes out. And it was just, but it was like an exercise. We had a teacher. His name is Pablo Gonzalez, and he was Alice's bass teacher. But then he started teaching us like musicianship. And he was like, you should start writing. And we're like, sure.
And what does that mean exactly?
So he really pushed us into start like exploring what we wanted to say or how we wanted to sound. And it was really fun because like I play the drums, right? But I also play the piano. But I write on the piano. But I remember like the first time just figuring out like, oh my God, I can use these chords and they're gonna sound like this. And it was just like a whole new world was opened of possibilities that I had never thought that we could do before.
Yeah.
And it was just really fun. But we were still finding our footing like for the first years.
Which
in
is so
writing.
funny to me now because our first ever songs are actually out. Our first
Like, it's
EP
there. It's on
is there.
Spotify.
It's out. So
It's out, yeah.
you can hear our like tiny baby voices being like, "Hi." It's no.
Yeah.
I try to ignore it. It's like it's there.
It's there.
And it's cute. We started out with that. I'm not ashamed of it, but it's people can stream it. Like they can sit down and say, I'm gonna listen to that song. And it's just like
But you know,
no.
it's impressive. You guys were children. You were
were.
actual children creating your own music, writing your music, and playing your own music. I mean, I think that is so impressive. I hope you
You
guys
say
feel
it like
that.
that, it does feel like, oh, okay. But at the time, it was just like, it's what we knew, like, what to do. And we just really liked it. Okay,
Now, tell me about, like you said before, you call it the sibling magic, which I love. You know, I mean, how do you guys work together? Does someone come in with an idea? Or do you just jam together?
No, it's weird. We do have this weird telepathy kind of thing that works a lot, especially in live shows. We would just be like, and we're like, okay,
That's
we know
incredible.
what needs to happen. But usually, up until right now, Pao is the one who like on the piano, she just goes crazy and gets a lot of different chords, concepts, lyrics, and that's where we like, that's where we like go from, which is. It's so funny if you think about it. Most of our songs start as a rock ballad on the piano, and then we just kind of like the warnify it in the actual instruments.
Did she just say the warning fight? I like that.
Yeah.
And
It's like,
it's weird. Like, it's a good process that we have.
yeah.
And now that we're writing with other people, like, we realize how special it is because writing songs, it's like I was gonna say having babies, but that sounds weird. But
Okay, I can see that, creating something that sort of takes life as it goes. Um, it's funny that she says that though, because she doesn't have any babies, so it's an interesting concept to grasp without having had experience. But I kind of get where she's going.
it's like it's your child.
It's your musical
Yeah.
children.
It's right there, and then you just hand it over for it to be like torn apart and then put back together, and it's
weird.
it's a
It goes back to the
it's-
vulnerability.
Yeah, it's a heavy process. And with my sisters, like there's no sugarcoating it. Like we're working with other people. It's like maybe we can go around and do this, and they're like, I hate it. We're not gonna do that. And it's just like, okay,
that sucks.
but we know that it's nothing personal. Like we can work with no strings attached and just like really get things done. And we do understand each other in a really special way. Like Danny, it doesn't matter if it's in English or in Spanish, but when we're working creatively, she says things.
That don't make sense.
She says words and it's a sentence.
But it doesn't make sense.
It's not a
I
thing.
can be very incoherent.
Yeah.
And
we're
she's just like, it just needs to sound like guh. And we're like,
what does
what are you
mean?
talking about?
Yes.
But after all these
Leave it to my
years,
sisters to understand.
we know
like-
what girl means
Yeah.
now. Like we understand
We're
each
getting
other.
the hang of it, yeah.
So now that we're working with other people, we just take a second to like huddle up in Spanish and be like,
All right.
what are we doing? And then Danny says her like incoherent things and we make sense of it and then we communicate it to the
process.
other writers and then but it's a cool process because we ground each other. Like we keep each other humble. It's like, no, you're not gonna do that.
Of
That's
course.
not cool.
Yeah.
It's like a process.
I love that.
Oh, we're gonna ZocDoc it again. If you guys have any interest, you can rewatch this and you get some sort of discount code.
Pretty much 24/7. And the one time waiting forever on ZocDoc. ZocDoc is take your insurance, feeling your best, and
I'm sorry, you guys get enough ads. You don't need ads within ads.
you're feeling all you spent trying to track down, rely on. You can app and start feeling and download the in 24 ZocDoc. Chorus was a massive. Last year, Error, of course, was a massive moment for you guys on so many levels. As artists, as musicians, as songwriters, as women. It's a phenomenal album. So I just want to say congratulations. It's really a culmination of all of the hard work. I mean, you guys are veteran musicians. It's pretty
so old.
No, but it's incredible that you are so young.
That's kind of an interesting concept because they kind of are. But they're so young, right? Like she said. But they've been at it for so long that kind of makes sense. They're not like new to their instruments or new to working together,
Like when you finished that album, how old were all of you? I
When we
mean,
finished Error,
I was 20.
I was
Well, I turned 21
Yeah.
when we
In the mixing.
In the mixing.
so I was 18. And during the mixing I was 19.
Yes. I was 15.
Shut up.
oh my
No,
God.
you're
I mean,
kidding.
literally, I'm calling you
No.
veterans, and you were literally 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I was 15.
You were 15. Jesus Christ.
It's because, man, pandemic years are so
That's
weird.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The pandemic years, it was like dog years.
I
It's
don't
like
remember being
yeah.
that young.
Yeah, I don't.
That pandemic was a while ago, wasn't it? That's funny this was when was this shot? Probably back then, right?
I don't either.
But I get it. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
But that album, I feel like to this date has made the biggest splash for you guys. That's when you started really getting on festivals and incredible tours and amazing opportunities to open for bands like Foo Fighters and Muse, which I want to talk more about, and Sammy Hagar and all these things. Like, tell me what was going on for you, because you guys had been playing and honing your craft for so many years at this point. But this album was a turning point individually and also in your career. So tell me about this whole like point in your life and how it felt.
Well, I think first of all, it was a big shift in our band as a career because we had been an independent band for the rest. I mean, all of it
The whole
up
time.
until right
The whole
now.
time.
So we signed with Lava Records and Republic Records in 2020. It was mid-pandemic.
Mid-pandemic. It was like
Mid-pandemic.
July, mid-pandemic.
It was
Yeah.
weird
July
timing,
time.
but like it was
Yeah.
great for us, and we already had this album planned, and we were like, okay, we're now recording it with someone we had never worked with in an environment that we had never been in, because we are now like, okay, we're gonna have a producer who has a lot of experience.
David Benda.
David Benda.
Shout out David. Shout
Yes.
out Jason
Go.
Flom. I remember when he told me
Yes.
about you guys, and I was like, oh hell yes.
Yes.
Very excited. Yeah.
So like we were going into stuff that we've been doing for our whole lives, but in a very different
Capacity.
context
Yeah.
and way. So we're just like, all right, let's
But it was like
learn
the
from
step
it.
to take. Like we were really excited about like, oh, it's the next level. That's what you would say. Like, okay, let's go. And it was mid-pandemic. It was weird, like the whole recording of it, but it was great. And we learned how to be musicians again. I don't know how to explain it,
Yes.
but we went to the David Benda boot camp, which we've talked with other bands about it, and they're like,
Yeah.
It's a
We're
thing.
like, it's a
Wait, tell me
thing.
more about this boot camp. I love
So if like one of them gets COVID, then for sure they're all getting COVID. Is that kind of because they're all so close all the time? I wonder how they sort of navigated that. It probably limited like what they could do, right? Well, obviously, shows and live stuff, but even like working together, if fucking everybody's sick,
love this.
it was just like during pre-pro,
Yeah.
like we thought we were really tight with our demos, and we were
Yes.
playing it for David, and David was like, "You're so out of time." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, you're gonna use my click, and you're gonna learn how to play with each other because you're playing individually. You're not playing as a band." And we're like, "What are you talking about, David?
Right.
What do you
mean?"
Yeah.
But after like the whole process, we went back to Monterrey, and we were starting.
Monterrey. The Spanish words come out like it's funny, like mid English. It's just and then you get that spice in there, right?
To rehearse the songs, and we were like,
That process
we
was
played
so stressful.
horribly.
We played
I was like,
horribly.
I felt like a bad musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to drum. And then Ale and I would play together. Like we would just play together, her and I.
Yeah, we just
And
looked
I
at each
would
other.
stare at Alice's fingers, and I would have to hit it at the same time as Ale was doing like the.
Yeah, like I
playing.
remember we were so out of
It was-
time, and
was
we
grueling.
learned how to play again together.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
It was.
But
it was
you
a
know what?
process.
Wow.
Yeah.
More than anything about timing or whatever, like the parts, we felt like we were playing like humans. Does that make
For the
sense?
first time.
Yes.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know
like,
how to explain
you
it.
got so into what you were doing. It's like, I have to get it right or whatever, that you forgot to like groove, to be part of it, to be in the music.
Right.
And that is something that not a lot of people think about, that can be listened to. You know,
Yes.
like you
does
can
make
feel it,
you
yeah.
can feel
Huge
that in
difference.
an album when it's recorded with like feeling.
Yeah. So the instrumentation is one part of it, but the
Yes.
heart and soul is the,
the
other.
other.
It's the other
Yeah.
part.
And
Yeah.
you have to have both.
It's very easy to lose yourself and want it to be perfect.
Yes.
Playing everything perfectly by yourself.
Yeah.
It was just an insane process.
It was.
But we didn't tour. It was the pandemic. So then
Right.
the album comes out. It came out 2 years after we recorded it.
Right,
It was just
right.
there. And it
Yeah.
was really weird because we couldn't do anything with it. Because we had to tour with it. We had to promote it. But we couldn't. Everything was closed down. We canceled like 2 tours.
Two
It's
tours.
brutal.
tours.
It's
I don't-
brutal.
And it was our
were so
first
bummed.
time. Like it was gonna be our first time headlining
The US.
like our tours in the
Yeah.
US.
I missed the train on that one.
And then everything was canceled. But then 2022 came around and we started touring. It was our first time headlining in the US. It
like
was brutal.
our first show ever coming back from the pandemic was in Daytona.
Oh my god, it was Welcome to Rockville.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Rockville.
Rockville.
Yeah.
That was like,
Okay, it was
we're
a great-
coming back.
It was a great
It
experience.
was a great experience.
But
Yes.
it was such a wonky show. Like it was for like
Or
it was
for
our
us.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we were just like, what is going on? And we hadn't played
in
festivals
years. Yeah.
in the US.
Ever.
It was like
Ever.
one of our first festivals.
All right, they're gonna get into talking about shows. I'm gonna write down where I'm at. We're at 20, almost 25 minutes. So, like I said, I'm gonna break this into segments, so you guys don't have to sit with me for and I don't have that kind of time honestly right now with my real job. But if you're still watching, I appreciate you coming along. I'll probably give my thoughts. I kind of see, this is why with things like this, like I don't know why you guys want to watch with me, but it's fine. There's not a whole lot to really react to. It's just kind of learning their story, which is really cool. It's cool for me. I just you guys have already heard it, so I don't know if you care. I'm gonna post it regardless, but and if you're watching, fantastic. Appreciate you. Love having you along. It's cool to learn more about their story. I kind of just I'm eager to do another one of their songs because they're all really good. So I might knock out one of those later today. But for now, I'm gonna put this on pause. I'm at 30 minutes of your time. They're at 25 of mine, so I'm trying not to talk too much. So, anyways, go support The Warning. Like I said, go like and subscribe. Allison Hagendorf as well. With interviews with them, it's interesting because like you don't really need. I mean, you don't need somebody to like narrate or ask questions or push for information because these girls can just talk. Like you give them one topic once, and then that spins off into like 4 or 5 more, and they'll just keep going. You don't even need to really interrupt them. They just, oh yeah, this and that. Oh yeah, and that led to this, which led to that, which led to this. And then you get a life story, and you can just sit back like, all right, you guys are good. That's fine. Go ahead. Tell me your life. Okay, well, it starts back in, But anyways, yeah, I will finish this up in maybe one more segment because I did 25 minutes. So yeah, maybe 2. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. We'll catch you on the next.